And here on the right of the photo are some of the young interns, the legal interns or in some cases lawyers, who come down, who volunteer to come and work with the BAI in Haiti, principally through the Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti, which is the U.S. partner organization of the BAI. And I tell you, those young people do such important work. And actually some of them are older, I'll say too, but a lot of them are younger because it's part of the legal education that they're doing. They get sponsored by their school or by the Center for Constitutional Rights, for example. And a lot of these problems that arise in camps, they're in there. They're in there assisting the camp residents as to what they can do to take advantage of legal protection that they might have, or maybe do a press conference or other kinds of pressure that can address the problems that they have. So we came away from Haiti with a deep, deep appreciation of the work that all of the lawyers, the legal interns, the international partners of the Bureau des Avocats Internationaux do in Haiti. It's probably the most important human rights, legal rights organization in Haiti. There are others as well, and they play an extremely crucial role in everything, including on this issue. You may know that the former tyrant dictator of Haiti is back resident in the country, basically living free. Jean-Claude Duvalier ruled Haiti from 1971 to 1986 and then was overthrown in a popular uprising. And he ruled Haiti through a regime of extreme human rights violations. And there are both Haitian as well as international laws that should have him facing charges of serious, serious, grave human rights violations. But he is able to, so far, to live freely in Haiti because the resources and the capacity of Haiti's justice system are limited. And it's going to take a lot of pressure, including a lot of international pressure, that there be a proper accounting, not just for the sake of law and of international law, but for the victims of his regime, who are many, hundreds and thousands of people who died or were imprisoned and tortured and everything else that happened during his regime. And I have to say, unfortunately, that neither the Canadian nor the U.S. government are doing anything to assist with the prosecution of Jean-Claude Duvalier, even though there have been requests made that resources that could be made available to the justice system to facilitate that process, those requests have not been met. We met with peasant organization in Haiti. There's 4 large principal peasant organizations. And if you recall, after the earthquake, everyone said that we have to undo the damage that has left Haiti unable to feed itself, unable to produce the food that it needs. Haiti is still primarily an agricultural country. 60% of the people still live on the land, and the other 40% who are in the cities wouldn't be there. Lots and lots of them wouldn't be there if they had the choice, if they could be productive on the land, working farms and living in smaller cities or villages. That would be their choice. But the economic conditions are such, and principally the trade policies coming from the big economic powers of the world, beginning with the United States, have over the years undermined and even destroyed significant capacity of Haiti's food production. And so, when you travel there, you see how rich the land is, the potential that's tremendous, but all the problems of resources and deforestation and the deforestation causing drought conditions, and they just continue on and on. What we were told by the 2 representatives here of Tête Collée Petits Paysans Haïtiens, which is the largest of the peasant organizations, is that despite all the talk after the earthquake of how agriculture must now occupy the center of economic development in Haiti, nobody in the government's talking to them. Nobody in the international organizations is talking to them. They have to fight to have their voices heard in the halls of government, in the whole process of the Reconstruction Commission. And they have a very good idea of what's required to get Haitian agricultural economy functioning again. Credit is needed, access to seed, access to fertilizer, access to markets, protection of the Haitian markets, so that when Haitian peasants grow food, they have a market where they can sell it. And then to the destructive practices of importing either subsidized food from the wealthy countries or the food aid that gets dumped on the country and it destroys the internal market. It's all very clear what has to happen. It's a lot of hard work to accomplish a new Haiti with a strong agricultural economy, but it's very clear what's needed. And if it hasn't happened, it's because the will is not there. We learned a lot about, not just about the agricultural economy, but the place of agriculture for Haiti's future by meeting with these 2 brothers of Tête Collée petits paysans haïtiens. A lot of these problems that Haiti is faced with today, they're political. There is a deadlock and paralysis in the Haitian government today. It's been more than 4 months since the end of the electoral process that brought Michel Martelly here, pictured, the new president of Haiti. This was an election process that brought him to the presidency that was deeply criticized by Haitians as well as by international organizations that were following Haiti. We basically called it an exclusion election because he had a whole series of conditions in the election, including the exclusion of the Famille Lavalas party of former President Jean-Bertrand Aristide, which meant that you couldn't have a fair election. So it was bad enough that you had an election where less than 25% of Haitians voted, but it's been more than 4 months since the election, and President Martelly has failed to form a government. They don't meet. There's no cabinet room, and they sit around and figure out what to do. There's no minister of housing. There's no prime minister. And the reason is that Michel Martelly, is, with all of his supporters and backers and his advisors, is embarked on a course of getting an exclusionary right-wing government in place in Haiti, and then they'll begin to meet and make decisions. And it's proving to be a very destructive thing for the Haitian people, because they need a government. They need ministers, and they need a strong and robust government. The problem of housing that I talked to you about, you need the scale, we're talking 600,000 people in the camps. You need a very strong and robust ministry of housing that can mobilize the construction resources, not just in Haiti, they need lots of international assistance, but that can also make the political and legal decisions. Take land, for example, compensate the owners. If it's called eminent domain, it's how we built Canada, it's how every country builds itself, and so on. So, go through every ministry of the government, and you don't have effective government making the tough decisions and mobilizing the resources to get done, because there's a political agenda being played out here, which is very destructive. And this is not escaping the attention of the international community. Just in recent days, there were editorials in the Washington Post, in the Economist magazine, talking precisely about this. Why has Martelly not formed a government yet? Why does he keep nominating these candidates for prime minister that the legislature won't accept? It's a very bad situation. This was the second nominee that Martelly tried to nominate. The legislature said, no, this is a man with serious human rights issues from his past. We cannot accept him as prime minister. And this was foretold. Martelly was told from the get-go, don't even try to nominate this guy as prime minister. It's not going to work. We need cooperation here, but it's not happening. And this report here by the International Crisis Group is probably the most important report one could read at this stage to really understand some of this. It's very nonpartisan. The International Crisis Group is a very nonpartisan international organization that gets funding, for example, from the Canadian government significantly. But this is the report that they issued on June 28th, and it's looking at why is the pace of aid and reconstruction so slow, and it points a lot of the reason, it says, for this is this political paralysis, this incapacity on the part of the Haitian government in power today and the international community that supported this election process, including Canada, have not been able to come together to create a robust government and reconstruction effort. So this report, along with all the others I'll talk about here, are all available on our website, CanadaHaitiAction.ca. And I think those quotes, which I pulled from the report here, which you can look at in more detail if you want to look at this report online, I think are pretty damning, but I think also quite accurate. This is another study that was done by Haiti Grassroots Watch on why there's no plan for downtown Port-au-Prince yet. Even the downtown, there's no plan. There's like 3 different agencies that all have their own plan, and they're all trying to get the plan adopted because money or prestige is involved. But again, it's no government, no housing ministry. Say, okay, boom, that's the plan. We're going to go with it. And you can also look in this is a report from June by the Office of the Special Envoy in Haiti. That's Bill Clinton's office. Dr. Paul Farmer is his assistant. And they looked specifically at the figures. And what we know is that of the international funds promised by governments and UN agencies, and I'm not talking about charities or NGOs, that's a different figure, but the governments and international agencies that made commitments to Haiti back in March 2010, under 40% of that has either been delivered or committed. And so And that's the money that was supposed to be delivered by the end of this year. So already we've got a 60% gap happening. So there's going to be it's going to require a lot more information and pressure to make sure that those funds that were promised for 2010-11 get delivered, leave alone, the billions more that are going to be required in the years to come. And so this report details, and it's quite an educational report because he talks about why it's proving difficult to get the promises delivered by the countries and governments that have made the promises. What's Canada doing? Well, the Canadian government has, and I'm not talking about the agencies of the Canadian government or the charities and NGOs that it funds, because that's a separate category, but the Canadian government has one only program in Haiti, which is to build prisons and police stations. And this is the opening on August 2nd of a new police station in Ouanamante. It's one of 18 police stations that the Canadian government has, whose either new construction or rehabilitation it is financed to the tune of $4 million. The Canadian government is also financing the building of a new prison in Quad-Bouquet. Now, every country needs police, and unfortunately we need prisons because people break laws and so on, but we've never been convinced in the Canadian Haiti Action Network that the role of wealthy governments like Canada is to be building prisons in Haiti. They should first and foremost be building schools, hospitals, and then, yes, assist the Haitian government in issues of policing and justice. But we're not seeing much assistance in the level of justice. The Haitian justice system is horribly underfunded and dysfunctional. And most of the people that sit in these prisons that Canada is building are in there in violation of the Haitian Constitution. Something around 70 or 80% of the people who are in Haiti's prisons today are in there in violation of Haiti's own constitution, because you can't keep someone in prison without having a trial. Seems pretty obvious to us. But because of the lack of funding for the justice system, people can go into prison and they can sit in there for a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. I've met people in the one prison I visited that were in there for longer than a year. And this is a system that requires funding to make the wheels of justice work. Policing in prisons is only one little part of that, because ideally you want to have a society where people are not having to be put into prison. But sadly, this is the one and only program that the Canadian government, not the agencies that it funds like CEDA and so on, that's different. And I think that's a very misdirected policy.